we get excited about a goal, but then within a month, we lose all connection to it. You've got to keep your connection to the goal. Talking about it, writing about it, obsessing about it. You gotta get obsessed and stay obsessed. What are you gonna obsess on? What's the number? How are you gonna make it happen? Obsession leads to victory.
Welcome to the Thought Leader Revolution with Nicky. Join the revolution. There's never been a better time in history to speak your truth, find your freedom, and make your fortune. Each week, we interview the world's top thought leaders and learn the secrets of how they built a 6 to 7 figure practice. This episode has been brought to you by eCircleacademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the podcast, The Thought Leader Revolution. I'm your host, Nicky, and this is another super exciting Thought Leader Nugget. Thought Leader Nugget number 111. How cool is that? 111, 3 ones. That just makes me jump out of my skin with joy. I just had a powerful coaching call with my coach and mentor, the one, the only, the legendary Mark von Musser, who was the guest this week on Tuesday's episode. And he brought something to me, which I believe is so valuable, so powerful that I had to bring it to you. And he said that the problem that most of us have is that and we're done. Other things seem more important. Why is that? Because we've stopped obsessing about that goal. And when we stop obsessing, we lose connection. And what happens is that within a day or two of not obsessing about a goal, our connection to it is gone. And within a month, our desire and motivation to work at it is gone as well. And that's when the goal dies. A lack of obsession is what causes your goals to go to die. So what can you do about it? What should you do about it? Man, that is a spectacular question. So let me tell you what you can and should do about it. Number one, on a daily basis, you've got to keep your connection to the goal. That means you got to have it written somewhere. You got to be thinking about it. When you get up in the morning, your focus has got to be on the goal. When you go to bed at night, your focus has got to be on the goal. You got to be thinking about it during the day, talking about it, writing about it, obsessing about it. Remember the first time you met somebody or you saw somebody and you were absolutely obsessed by that individual? You had to get to know them. You had to have them. They had to become yours. You couldn't think about anything else. You couldn't do anything else. You couldn't eat. You couldn't drink. You could barely sleep. All you did was 1,000% direct your full obsession on that individual. Now, I remember my sweetheart, Teresa. The first time I saw her, God spoke to me and said, pay attention. That's the one. She's the one. That's your soulmate. And from that moment on, my obsession with her bloomed. That morning, I'm a man who works out hard in the gym and I do not get distracted. I was distracted. I tried to find somebody to introduce her to me and I couldn't. And then I just kept going around for days and weeks. Who knows her? Who is she? Because I didn't see her after that. And then someone said, oh, you mean Teresa? You mean Teresa? And they grabbed me by the arm. They took me there and they introduced me to her. And when I was on point to want to win her over and make her mine, all I did was think about her, write poetry about her, send her the poetry, send her beautiful love texts, think about her and be with her 24/7, 365. And that's how I won her heart. And let me tell you something. If you've got a big goal in your business, let's say you want to have your first $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month or $1 million a month, it's going to take that same level of absolute obsession to make it happen for yourself. It won't happen if you allow yourself to be distracted by other things. If you go and have shiny object syndrome take you out of the game, you got to get obsessed and stay obsessed about your goal. And if right now you know that this year is not going the way you want it to go in terms of achieving the biggest goals you have for yourself and your business, it's because you're not obsessed. Obsess. So let's do an exercise. Let's have $1 million month. Why not? Let's have $1 million month. You can substitute any number for that you want, but we're going to say $1 million month right now. What would that take? Well, for me, I got to have 30 people at my upcoming event that are paying $10K USD each. And those 30 people are then going to get, wow, juiced, jazzed, and enthused by, okay, they're the best people I've ever worked with. And then 2/3 of them are going to want to sign up for one of my ongoing programs for the upsell. Boom. That's 300 grand up front and 900K in upsells. $1.2 million month. Now, what about you? What are you obsessing on? What's the number that you want to achieve? Today is June the 2nd. I'm actually recording this on June the 1st, but June the 2nd is when you're going to hear this. From June the 2nd to July the 1st, 30 days. What are you going to obsess on? What's the number? How are you going to make it happen? The more obsessed you are about your goal, about your purpose, about why this is important to you, how this is going to help you change the world or change your world, the more likely it is that you're going to achieve this goal and you're going to live life as the best version of you. Obsession leads to victory, and victory leads to the life less imagined. And I'm telling you right now, if you take the time right now to just decide to obsess, success will be yours in the most uncommon of hours. If you needed to hear this message, let me know. If you needed to hear this message, leave me a rating, a like, a review. And if there's someone else who needs to hear this message, send them this episode and make sure that they get to hear this message and they get to create for themselves success in the most uncommon of hours, because you are the one who helped them get from stuck, defeated, and deflated to uplifted and obsessed and victorious. And that's a wrap. We'll catch you on the next Thought Leader Nugget episode. Goodbye.
This episode has been brought to you by eCircleAcademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.